My name is Stella. I'm sitting on my back deck, sipping coffee and watching the lake shimmer under the morning sun. The silence around me doesn't feel heavy, it feels earned. It's been a long and arduous journey to reach this point, but I finally feel free. Just a few weeks ago, my life was turned upside down. I came home to find movers I didn't hire hauling boxes with my sister Lily's name scrawled across them into my house. My mom, Mrs. Thompson, with her overly sweet smile, and my dad, Mr. Thompson, with his booming voice, were there, acting as if they owned the place. Lily stood there with her pompous husband Victor, looking smug. My mom's voice cut through the chaos. Darling, calm down. Don't be so selfish. You don't need this whole house to yourself. Lily's family is going through a tough time, and you have all this space. I was in shock. Years of hard work, late nights at the office, skipped vacations, and countless freelance gigs had gone into buying this house. It was my dream home, a place by the lake where I could finally feel safe and free from the shadow of my sister. Growing up, Lily was always the golden child. She was the one who could do no wrong. If she brought home a B on her report card, my parents would throw a party. If I brought home an A, they would barely acknowledge it. Her birthdays were filled with balloons, cakes, and the whole family gathered in the living room. Mine were often met with a "we'll celebrate later" that never came. As we grew older, the roles became even more defined. Lily was the princess, and I was the spare. I stopped seeking their attention and started building my own life. I worked my way through college, supported myself, and promised myself that one day, I would own something that they couldn't take away. When I finally signed the deed to this house, I thought I had broken free. I thought my parents would be proud, but instead, I got comments like, "It must be nice not having a family to worry about," or "Don't get too comfortable, Stella. Life can change in an instant." I tried to keep the peace, thinking that distance would help. I made phone calls on holidays, had polite visits, and even left them a spare key for emergencies. I thought the boundaries were clear, but I was so wrong. That fateful afternoon, when my neighbor called to tell me what was happening, I raced home as fast as I could. When I walked through the door, it was like stepping into a nightmare. Movers were everywhere, carrying boxes into my bedroom, my sanctuary. "Stop!" I shouted, my voice louder than I intended. Everyone froze for a moment. The movers looked at each other, unsure of what to do. My mom gave me that pitying smile that always made me feel like a child who didn't understand the rules. "Darling, calm down. Your sister needs this." "You're being selfish," she said, trying to soothe me. I clenched my fists. "This is my house, paid for with my own money. You can't just move people in without asking me." My dad's voice thundered from upstairs, "Don't be so selfish, Stella. Family should share. You should be grateful you even have this place." The word selfish burned in my chest. They had been using that word to describe me my whole life, as if having boundaries and wanting to keep what I had worked for was a sin. Lily stepped forward, her arms crossed, and her chin tilted high. "Oh, come on, Stella. You don't need this house. You're single, no kids, no responsibilities. You have no idea what it's like to carry a real burden." Her words hit me hard. Deep down, I knew that in their eyes, I was never enough. My choices didn't matter, and my life was just a placeholder until something better came along. One of the movers finally spoke up, "Ma'am, your mom hired us. Should we keep unloading?" I took a deep breath, trying to steady my voice. "No, stop right now. She's not the owner. I am. If you keep carrying those boxes into my house, you're complicit in theft." The movers hesitated for a moment, then set the boxes down and started to edge towards the door. One of them even muttered, "Good luck," as if he knew exactly what I was going through. That was the moment I realized that this wasn't just a misunderstanding. It was a planned invasion, carried out with the assumption that I would back down, just like I always had. But not this time. I pulled out my phone and started recording. The red light blinked, capturing everything: the movers, the boxes, my mom directing traffic, my dad stomping down the stairs, and Lily standing there looking smug. "Stella, turn that off," my mom snapped, her mask slipping for a moment. "This is family business." "No," I said, my voice cold. "This is legal business now." Lily lunged forward, trying to grab my phone. "Delete that. You're not going to make us look bad." I stepped back, holding the phone higher. "You don't need me to make you look bad. You're doing a great job on your own." My dad's face turned red, and his voice boomed, "You will not drag this family's name through the mud over a misunderstanding." I laughed, bitter and sharp. "A misunderstanding? You broke into my house, hired movers, and tried to shove me out of my own life. What part of that is a misunderstanding, Dad?" The room went silent. All I could hear was the pounding of my heart. That was the turning point. They finally realized that the old Stella, the one who would stay quiet and let them rewrite the rules, was gone. I locked eyes with each of them and knew that I wasn't going to fold. They thought I was bluffing, but I was done being the doormat. I walked to the front door, shut it, and slid the deadbolt with a sharp click. The sound echoed in the room like a warning shot. Lily flinched, and my dad's jaw clenched. "You're not welcome here," I said flatly. "Not anymore." For a moment, no one moved. They were waiting for me to crack, to apologize, to back down. But I stood my ground, my phone still recording. My mom gasped, "Stella, don't say things you can't take back. We're your parents." I held up my phone, showing them the video. "This goes to my lawyer tonight. And if you ever step foot in here without my permission again, the police will see it, too." My dad stepped forward, his face dark with fury. "You wouldn't dare call the police on your own family." I stared him down. "Try me." That's when their bravado started to crack. Lily's husband muttered something about leaving, but she shook him off. She still thought she could talk me down. "You think anyone will believe you over Mom and Dad? Everyone knows you're dramatic. They'll laugh at you," she said. I smiled, cold and calm. "Everyone will believe the deed with my name on it. Everyone will believe the video footage. Everyone will believe the texts and emails where you already admitted you were moving in." Silence filled the room. They picked up their boxes in angry, jerky motions, muttering curses under their breath. I didn't move until the last one stepped outside. Then I slammed the door and locked it again. This time, the click sounded like victory. But victory alone wasn't enough. I knew they would try to twist the story and paint me as the bad guy. So, I took a photo of the boxes stacked outside the front door with Lily's name in big black marker. I posted it online with the words, "When family forgets boundaries." The response was overwhelming. Friends, coworkers, and even old classmates I hadn't spoken to in years sent me DMs. They shared their own stories of family betrayal and offered their support. By nightfall, my phone was buzzing nonstop. My mom, Dad, and Lily had left me over 100 missed calls. The same people who had always made me feel like I didn't matter were suddenly desperate for me to take the post down. Over the next few days, they bombarded me with texts, calls, and voicemails. My mom pleaded with me to take it down and talk things out. My dad told me to stop before I ruined the family. Lily threatened me, saying I would regret it. But I was done listening to their lies and manipulation. I stood my ground and let the evidence speak for itself. As the days passed, the tide turned. My post had been shared thousands of times, and the truth was out. My mom's charity group cut her off, my dad's golf buddies stopped returning his calls, and Lily was barely holding on at her job. The second wave of their attacks came in the form of guilt trips. My dad left me a voicemail saying, "We're your parents. We raised you. Don't you owe us loyalty?" My mom said, "Family sacrifices, Stella. That's what love is." But I wasn't falling for it this time. I knew that their so-called love and loyalty had always been one-sided. One day, when I was coming back from the grocery store, I saw them parked across the street in their car. My mom got out and waved her hands. "Stella, please, just 5 minutes." I stood straight, my keys in my hand like a weapon. "You don't get 5 minutes, not after this." My dad climbed out, his voice defeated. "You can't destroy us over pride. Think of Lily's children. Where will they go?" For a moment, I felt a twinge of guilt. I did love those kids, but I knew they were being used as pawns. I shut the trunk of my car and said flatly, "They'll go wherever you provide for them. That's not my responsibility." Lily got out of the car, her face twisted with rage. "You heartless witch. You'll regret this." I met her glare calmly. "I already regret giving you a chance to walk in that door. That won't happen again." She froze, then slammed the door so hard the car rattled. They drove off, tires screeching. By the end of the week, the calls stopped and the threats faded. They had lost not only me but also the respect of the people around them. Now, as I sit here, I realize that revenge doesn't always have to be about fire and fury. Sometimes, it's about standing your ground, being patient, and letting people destroy themselves with their own actions. I've learned that love doesn't mean surrendering your boundaries. Family should never be an excuse to bulldoze over your rights. This house is not just a physical space, it's a symbol of my strength and independence. It's proof that I matter, and their control over me is finally over. If this story resonates with you, I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments. Your words remind me that I'm not alone. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that hit close to home.